Hello, good morning. It's 11 o'clock GMT. My name is Joanna Steele, and welcome to the African Marcom series for this session, How to Get Found by AI. I hope everyone can hear me. Kiki, did you want to unmute and put your video on?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you, Joanna.
Hi, morning.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, wherever you are. So welcome to the African Marcom series. Okay, so just a quick reminder about what the African Marcom series is about. As we know, we are living in an age of information and content overload. It is really overwhelming. And if you're managing a brand, I think it's even more so overwhelming, right? And so competition for visibility, mind share is fierce. And so at the African Marcom series, we are all about helping businesses, marketing and comms professionals to help them cut through the noise to reach their target audiences. And whilst this session is very much focused on Africa businesses, actually a lot of the tactics and strategies that we share throughout the sessions can be applied globally. So yeah, this is our way of sort of supporting you as we kind of make our way through the ever-changing marketing and communications world. So this session, as you know, is about AI, or just a small part of AI, because AI is a huge topic, as we know. We have some other sessions that are coming up that you can look forward to, which will cover influencer marketing and how that landscape is evolving, crisis comms, as well as 2026 and some of the trends that we expect to see there. So the African Marcom series is the brainchild of myself, Joanna Steele from Dimax, and also Bemi Idowu, who is the founder of Talking Drum Communications. So Talking Drum Communications is an African tech PR agency. So for more information about what they do, their website is talkingdrumcom.com. So if you're an African tech company and you're looking to get in the headlines, share your stories, Talking Drum Communications is the place for you. And myself, Joanna Steele, I am the co-founder and managing partner of Dimax. We are a digital marketing agency. We help largely African-focused businesses and events with their visibility, engagement, and sales. We do work with companies across not just the continent, but globally in the US, the UK, and Europe as well. And if you want to find a bit more information about that, head to dimaxdigital.com. So what's really interesting about this session is that we had originally planned this session for April, right? And moving parts, you know, conflicting schedules, busy with client work, it got pushed back and back and back to the point where we actually completely changed the subject, right? Because AI is moving that fast. So this session is for marketing and comms professionals who are helping those brands navigate the evolving business landscape and the fast-moving world of marketing and AI, right? So if you're interested in getting your content seen by AI tools like Google AI Overview, ChatGPT, Perplexity, again, this is the place for you. And if you manage a brand or you work with brands that don't have big budgets, right? They can't do the technical SEO. They don't have the budget for ads, right? This session will help you understand how to create structured, relevant content that AI platforms can find, understand, and surface. So you'll learn how AI tools choose what content to show, what types of content get ignored, how to create content that gets picked up, as I mentioned, by Google AI and all the different tools. And understand how to use the right words, questions, and formats so that these tools can find and understand your message. I have with me this morning the amazing Kiki Choda. She is the lead marketer and founder of New Media Ghost. She's a chartered marketer. She's an AI specialist, and she helps businesses grow their digital presence through AI-informed marketing strategies. She herself works with a raft of different organizations, business owners, leaders, various sectors, tech, healthcare, and you can find out a bit more about Kiki at newmediaghost.com. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to hand it over to Kiki. What I will say is, at the end of this session, you will get an exclusive an exclusive view of a new tool that Kiki has developed, which is going to change the game when it comes to creating your sort of website content to make sure that these AI tools find that content and find you in those searches. So, you know, make sure you stay for the whole session, and Kiki will do a little demo of the tool, which is currently in beta. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to let Kiki take over. Thanks for joining, guys.
Rookie mistake, I was on mute. Thank you so much for having me today, Joanna. So I didn't expect that slide, by the way. I think you did show me, and I didn't actually didn't register. So you really picked me up. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about how businesses like your audience, I guess, and the audience is here today. So it's not just about what you said. It's not just about the African market. It's about the markets across everywhere, because AI is now changing so quickly and significantly in how people are finding businesses online. And very much what you just said, Joanna, is that it's no more about you know, just advertising and getting information out. It's about how you're coming across, and yeah, we're going to touch upon that. And of course, it's not just about search as we know traditionally, like through Google searches. That's a big part of it, but now people are using LLMs like ChatGPT and Perplexity to actually search in, and that's what's shaping how people and businesses again discovered. So my goal today is to show you some, when I look over there, it's because my big screen is over there with the slides. So anyway, my goal today is to show you some practical steps on how you can take away actually without the complex need of SEO or big advertising budgets. So let's get started. So why it matters. Now I am going to try and click the next button if I can find him. Oh, excuse me. Oh, for some reason, my next button doesn't want to move. 1 second. Sorry about this. Okay, here we go. So here's the reality. Okay, so the AI is changing how people are searching. There's no longer those typing the keyword in, and people are now asking full questions and they're expecting clear answers. So just think about when you go online, it's not just about nearest bakery. It might be nearest bakery that sells XYZ, or it might be you're not looking for a tech tool for search, but I'm looking for a tech tool that will do this search. So people are asking full questions and they want clear answers. And I'll just talk a little bit about the sub-Saharan Africa, because 84% of people access the internet only using a mobile device. So that means your content it's got to be even more simpler, it's got to be clear, and it's got to be totally accessible, because it won't get seen. Because you imagine you've got that little device in front of you and it needs to be sitting right, it needs to answer the question quickly. So I'll talk more into the framework of it, but if AI tools can't understand your content, they basically won't surface it. So if it doesn't come up on your screen, on your mobiles and on your other devices, and you're not answering those questions, that means your audience won't get to see it, no matter how good your product or service is. And I know this because there's some keywords when I was starting out back 2 years ago trying to do this, and it wasn't even as refined as it is now, and it's still moving. It's an absolute, one of my favorite words is it's a movable feast, because it is constantly moving, and you've got to keep moving with it, with the changes in AI. But anyway, having that, it means that we need clarity, we need structure, and then we need, you know, more communication, but the right communication, because that's what matters right now more than ever. So I'll walk you through a framework, like I said, in a short while, and that we use at New Media Ghost. It's helped our clients improve absolute visibility, and it can do the same for you, hopefully, or for any business that wants to be found now in this AI age, I guess. But first, okay, so here's the issue I see more often, and hopefully, if you are already familiar with AI, you might find these familiar as well. So you're already putting the work in, but you're like writing posts, emailing, updating your website, but you're still not being found, not by your customers, not by Google, and definitely not by AI tools like ChatGPT, which is where people are searching now. So like I said, they're not only just searching on the normal Google traditional links, they're searching on ChatGPT and other LLMs like Perplexity. So there's a big communication gap between the content you're creating and then what the AI tools can actually understand and surface. So anything like vague language, industry jargon, if you haven't got clear headlines, all that, it just gets in the way, and the machines are not interested. One of the sentences I've been using a lot lately on webinars and podcasts is we need to make the content, and I'll probably say this a bit later on as well, for humans and machines now. So, before it was all about let's get this so that the person understands it. We still need that because the person is still asking the question, but we also need it so that the machine is saying, oh, this company is answering this question quite clearly, so let's use this. But like I said, we'll go into that framework a bit later. So anyway, you're out there now doing all that great work, but it's invisible because AI and the content that you've got on there, it's not structured in a way that it can process it. So that's what we're talking about today. And that's why, again, structure, clarity and simplicity, I guess, aren't just good communication. They're the visibility drivers for your online presence. So what does AI actually look for when it's deciding what to show someone? And that's what I'll show you next. So think of AI tools like Google, like I said, AI overview, the topic which I'll show you in a moment, an example of, or ChatGPT is like a kind of a lens. So they're not scanning every single word of the internet. So like I said, they're looking for content, they're structured, it's clear and it's useful. So if your page is vague, messy, because we all have messy pages, or buried in like long paragraphs, AI won't pick it up because it's thinking, well, I can't really get through the crux of this. But what tools actually want to see, so what these AI tools are looking for, they want to find clear answers to specific questions, and that's really important. So like kind of, how do I do this, or what can you look for, what can you do with this, or questions that people actually ask for. The other thing we need to look at is not just the structure and the specific questioning and the answering, but trusted sources, things that feel real. Things like when people are going out onto, and I'll talk a little bit more about this again, but things like when people are on Reddit and other social platforms and they're coming in. So those things that feel real, consistent, and I guess kind of credible, where other people's websites are coming into yours, they're linking into you. An example is like the BBC News outlet, and you've seen where there's been a report, and then all of a sudden somebody wants to go, you read through the news report and you think, oh, I want to find out more about this. You'll click the link and it'll lead you to a website. Now that's that's a trusted source. So the trusted source is the BBC. It's linking into your website. So the tools are picking up, well, and this is nothing new, by the way, it's just that it's becoming a bit more enhanced. So the tools are now saying, well, BBC's are really good sites and they're linking into Kiki's website. So why not? Why not like listen to what Kiki has to say about these answers to questions that people are asking? So look for things like news sites that are credible, university sites, they're really good because they're educational. Anything that has a good authority that people already trust. And then we need to look for structured formats. So these include things like your headings and how they look, the questions and answers, how it lists out. So is it good visibility wise for the reader? Sections that are easy to understand. and like I said, by both humans and machines. So remember, we're still writing for humans. It's not just a machine thing. But also, it's not about writing more. It's about shaping the content that you've already got. So it's not, okay, let's start writing lots and lots of content and get it out like we used to with keywords. I mean, having the fundamentals of SEO is important, but now because AI has moved so quickly, there are quite a few tools out there that can help you quickly get your content out. So, but it's not about reams of content. It's basically about giving the answers to questions that real people are asking. It's about shaping your content in a way that kind of AI can recognize. And then once they recognize it, they'll rank it, they'll reuse it. And incidentally, Joanna mentioned this, we built a tool for this where you literally can find your current content and enhance it, so you don't have to start like writing from scratch. But anyway, I'll tell you more about that for those who are going to stay at the end, and we'll have a little demo so you can all get excited about that and join the waiting list. So imagine anyway, if clear answers and trusted sources with your structured format is what AI actually rewards, then I think let's quickly look at the opposite. So what type of content tends to get ignored altogether at the moment, just at the moment, because things change. Okay, so let's start with something useful. I'm sure there's lots of marketers on here today, and you probably come across this, but how often do we sit back and go, oh yeah, I've done that? So if your content is vague, it's full of jargon, or it's overly complicated, it won't land. Not with your audience, and it's not going to definitely land with AI tools like, you know, your ChatGPTs and your Googles. So I've put two examples across. So instead of saying, you know, I mean, you can read that, guys, you know, we offer innovative digital transformation services, leveraging cross-sector optimization strategies. Oh my gosh, even I'm finding that mouthful. You could say something like, yeah, we help small businesses build an online presence that gets them more clients. Now, the second version, you've got to agree, is much clearer, it's relatable, and more likely to be picked up by AI tools that are looking for answers. So what does New Media Ghost do? What does Digimax do? What does, you know, we help small businesses build an online presence that gets them more clients. I mean, that's a given, right? So I guess whether you're writing for your website or social media or an event handout, make it clear who you help, what you do and why it matters, because they're answering those questions. So, you know, who is this event for? What is this event? And why should I go to this event? They're questions people might ask, maybe not literally on when they're writing that in the search bar, but they might say, you know, what is this event about? And then they'll form that opinion because you're answering, this is what the event's about. This is what you're going to do when you get to the event. This is why it matters. That's a clear indication of who, what, you know, our fundamentals. So who, what, why, and how. And, you know, we're marketers here, so we know that they're the fundamentals of marketing your business. And that's the kind of content AI platforms and real people can connect to, not the jargon stuff that some of us still do. And I know, hands up, I still write jargon sometimes, and I've got to think, oh, this is marketing speak. This is not for my audience, and this is not business speak. Anyway, so search is evolving, but I guess the question is, do you think Google searches have gone down since ChatGPT? Joanna, do you think we should ask that question? Should they say yes or no? You know,
Yeah,
do you think Google
what's happened
searches
to
have gone
Google?
down?
Do you think,
Sorry?
I was going to say, what do you think Google searches have gone down? I'm not sure if people can put it in the chat, if the chat is enabled for people.
All right, okay. So, all right, well, that's okay. So we can ask the question, well, you know, and I kind of answer it. So I've been doing a lot of research on this, and there's things that kind of have been going up and down. So as you mentioned earlier, Joanna, we had AI marketing covered for the beginning of the year, but it's changed since the beginning of the year because more stats are coming out. So in answer to that question, yes, Google's search dominance, it's been shaken because as GPT, so not just chat, but the GPT gains ground, it's pushing the market share below 90%. I think it's 90%, yeah. And that's the first time in a decade. So according to, I think the man, I've got the link, it's somebody called Scott Kessler of Third Bridge. This signal, this drop in signal, this drop in Google searches, it just shows what real competition AI is, because that stat I think was middle of July. So if anybody wants the actual stat, I can send it to them. But these days, people aren't just typing into Google; they're asking questions out loud, and they're asking Alexa and Siri. You know, the voice searches. They're asking on the mobile phones. They're asking on the devices that we have. So they're using GPTs such as Chat and Perplexity. And then they're getting those quick summaries, you know, the quick answers back and actually you can see them at the top of search results now. So it's not just about writing the information down, but it's making sure the stuff that you're writing is being picked up by speaking. So by Alexa and Siri, and I'm sure there's thousands of other ones like Echo, I think that's Alexa as well. But by these machines, by these AI machines, so that when you're writing your content, they're picking it up and they're answering it to the person that's asking, not just by writing, but verbally. So having those is very important. So people aren't scrolling through 10 links, which are the traditional links anymore. You know, they're using large language models. They're using Claude, they're using Gemini, things like Meta. So the core AI model now is trained on huge data sets, and that's not generating just text. It's generating code, it's generating a lot more things that even I'm baffled with sometimes. But applications built on LLMs are ChatGPT, Perplexity Copilot, Jasper. I think you might have heard of that as a content tool. Tools and platforms that use LLM to deliver user-friendly products like chat search or writing assistants. That basically it's them. But put simply, LLMs are like the engine, and how can I put it? And the apps are like the car. So the LLM is the engine that's driving it, and then the app is the car that you're actually driving. So anyway, this is where Google's AI overview comes in. I think I've exhausted. Oh yes, I'll talk a bit about Google's AI overview, and then I'll change the page to show you an example of it. You've probably seen it. It's that new box at the top of search results where AI gives a full answer. And often the search results, and often actually, sorry, it's at the top of the search results. That's what I want to say. Yeah, so you put a search in, it comes at the top of the search results. And when you look at it, people tend to now just stop there. They don't need to go down below the traditional links, because if your content is clear, as I mentioned, structured, it's got credibility behind it, you're not going to pee in those overviews. And I'll give you an example of a search I did a couple of days ago. And that means that you're being, you know, that chance of you being found is now either buried well below, or you're just not going to surface because your competitors are being found. But here's the question: if you are found, just imagine your business is, and your brand is visibly, you know, just like it's visibly, well, it's instantly visible right there in front of people, to potential customers, partners, collaborators. I mean, even the press, actually, because that's a really important part of all of this, is trying to encourage trustworthy click-throughs to your website or your online platform. So I guess what's the three things that need to be picked up? You know, that we need to use. What does your content need to be picked up? So that was the clear questions and answers. So clear questions, clear answers, proper headings and structure, which I mentioned, and then that plain, trustworthy language. So when your content is written in this way, AI kind of finds it, it uses it, and then it'll surface it above your competitors. Google's search generative experience is rolling out more widely now. So that's GEO. GEO, yes. So it's rolling out even more. There's so many new things coming out there. It's changing how people are getting information. And if your content isn't part of that shift, then basically your business isn't going to be found, or your brand's not going to be found. So I think now we're on this cusp where people are starting to learn things. So now is the moment that you need to adapt. Otherwise, you're going to risk staying invisible. So I'm going to demonstrate, actually, I think my next slide is demonstrating this bit of AI overview. There we go. So just before this session, I ran a search using the VPN as if I was in Nigeria for best marketing company in Nigeria. And here you have, you can see that there's like a show more button right at the bottom of it. So I'm gonna just by here. And yeah, basically that show more button, it gives you, it'll tell you who is surfacing on AI overview. So this will come up. And then this, as you click it, which I'll show you on the next screen, will show more information. But that's also telling you that Google is answering the query without the old traditional search links that you would find under here. So everything's being pushed down. But it does highlight, like, can you see, as I've put best marketing company in Nigeria, this has come up. It does actually highlight one of the companies already, and here's Wild Fusion Digital Centre. Now, that's not to say that they are the best marketing company. That's to say that they're doing their homework and they're doing some sort of work to get them on top. And if they haven't already jumped onto, working in a structured way, that's probably the best company that that's answering so far all those questions that AI can find to date. So you want to get onto that bandwagon and do it yourself. So anyway, you click the show more and then you come up with here. So when you click that AI overview, this query on Google opens up the show more bit, and those links with a clip here. But first, look at the left-hand side over here. See, you'll note that information coming from Facebook and here, and big, and from Big Field Digital is on there as well. So AI is pulling sources from social links too, but only if they're credible, of course. So somewhere on social, and we haven't got the true recipe to this right now because it's constantly evolving. But if it looks as if Big Field Digital is answering a question here, because it's saying, my question was, what's the best marketing agency in Nigeria? And they're answering Big Field Digital is named the agency of the year in Nigeria. So although it's not the best, they are named the best by saying agency of the year. So they are obviously answering something, or answering my query, and it's being surfaced on this bit. So finally, this is what happens when you click one of those links with the click above, and then this, does it come up? I'm just clicking my slide here. Yeah, so it takes me to only one brand then. So when you click one of that, so it'll take you, did I click that one? I might not have, I might have clicked Beach TV Media actually. So I wanted to find out more information. This comes up, only one brand shows because that's what's continuing the question I asked. That link with the brand will lead me directly to their website. And that's where you need to be. You need to be here in AI overview. And this is the structure that we're talking about today. And you need to be surfacing here. At the moment, and this could change in a week, it could change in 2 days, I have no idea. But for the last year, and it is still moving, this is pretty much the same. So it's pulling in the latest content. So you might do a search for exactly the same and you might find different information because these companies are adding to their content or changing their content to surface. Or it could be that the algorithms are changing, which I have no idea how Google is doing that. But my point is, right now, we're on the cusp of this becoming huge. This is organic. This is not paid for marketing. This is not where we're trying to, stuff keywords and build links through it. This is about traditional marketing, but with AI. So anyway, you want to get here and you want to get here. So let's continue how else AI can assist you with your tasks to get there. So remember, it's not just about this. We need all the other bits. So Joanna and I talked about, well, what else could we use AI for? So I touched upon it. So it's, and I think this is really important because some people, a lot of companies and businesses are scared to use AI. So I think what I'm trying to say is it's here to support you. It's not here to replace you. It's here to take, it's not here to take over your message. It's here to help you get it right. And so use this. So these are the type of tools that I use to help me get my message right. It's not about taking over what I'm doing. I love content marketing. I want to continue being creative. I want to continue using my brain. But these are the tools that are helping me get that information out that I know that my customers and my prospects are thinking, oh, look, Kiki's answering the right, the question I'm asking. So, and again, all these tools are not about becoming a tech expert. It's about, using these tools simply. So, I think I've put it on there. Yeah. So kind of like it helps you respond faster with AI assisted drafts. You've got translation. So, translates complexity into clear, that jargon that we were talking about, but into more public friendly messaging. So when you put that jargon in, you can say it, in my tone and voice, how can I explain this better? And you can put that in. You can use these, remember, they're not here to replace your voice, that's what I'm saying. They help your voice they help your voice where it lands, where it matters most. That's where it's going to land. So it needs to be faster, clearer, and it needs to give you more impact. And these tools will help you with that, not overtake your job. I think people don't understand what they're doing. So if people don't understand what you're doing, then I don't think they're going to be able to support you. And if we've got these tools in place, what I'm saying is use them to help you. Are there any questions at all, Joanna? Have anything come up, or nothing's just come up yet? Or, because you talked about the chat earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, one question has come through.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask it now?
Yeah, sure. And then I'll jump on to the next slide.
Okay, so a question from Rachel Allen. And what is the best place to go to find out what people are searching for? Is it still tools like Ask the Public or throwing questions into Google? Are there any other good resources you could recommend?
Okay, so interestingly, I was talking about this only earlier today. So this app, so thank you for asking that question, Rachel. This app that we devised, originally in my mind, it was how can I search what people are searching for? And unfortunately, now with AI in place, everything has been pushed behind closed doors. So Google are not releasing their algorithms. LLMs and GPTs are not releasing any information. So when we tried to go in there and scrape the information out, we were finding that we couldn't, and we still had to do the traditional keywords research. And this is why earlier on I said it's important to know the fundamentals of search engine optimization, which actually includes what Rachel has asked here, which is how do I find out? So it's going into it's using the information that we tried to look for before. So going into Search Console, going into things like Ahrefs, and I think that's a free plan that you can start with, and you just put it in your website, and it'll give you a list of keywords for that page or for that website. SEMrush is another one that can give you some free information. If you buy, I think out of the two, I would prefer to go with Ahrefs. So you can go in there and you can do some really deep dives of what people are searching for, and then use that as part of your content for content building. But remember, I don't want to give everyone more and more work to do. So what I say is go back to your fundamentals of SEO, go and find your keywords, so what people are searching for, look at the content you currently have and just revamp that. I mean, otherwise you're going to be there. I mean, for a long time we've been saying, and I still stick by this at the moment, is we have a pillar content post, and then you have a cluster post that goes with the content. And sorry for those who don't understand the SEO bit at the moment for content. You still need the fundamentals at the moment. So in answer to that question, go back to basics, go to Search Console, go to go to your keyword planner and go to places like Answer the Public, and I'll come across that, and I think it's in my next slide, but go and look for those things, Ask the Public, because they're the true questions that people are asking. And if you can answer those true questions, then you're going to end up surfacing, and obviously it's not just answering those questions, it's making sure that they're clear and they give the impact that the person is asking for. So that's a really good question. So thank you very much for that one. Okay, so with that foundation in mind, let's look at how AI actually decides what to show your customers, right? There we go. So these are the steps that we follow. Now you can see what AI platforms are looking for, and this is the simple checklist that you can follow to apply it. I think you can give these slides out, can't you, Joanna? So I mean, happy to them to take a screenshot, or happy for you to give them out. So these are the 5 steps that will help you take your content that you already have, perhaps maybe on your website or your socials or even a report, and like kind of reshape it so it can actually be found and used by AI platforms. So you start with a real question, not a clever heading, an actual question your audience might type or ask. So an example here is, I asked one of my clients to ask their call center to write down questions, like 5 questions that people might ask that are the top 5. And the person who, when they came back and gave me these questions, it was quite obvious that the person who was given this task had just shoved it into ChatGPT or one of them and asked them to give the questions, and they came back and I looked at it and I went, these are all AI questions. Now the problem with that is that's not a real person asking, and yet, I keep saying, although AI is here to help us do things faster and quicker, some things we need a human level to. So when I asked them to do that, so I asked my client to do that, I expected them to come back with 5 real questions. So things like, how can I register my business in Ghana might be an example, or how do I prove my online visibility? They're real questions. And then what you want to do is write a clear answer using headings, as I've mentioned in those. Use subheadings to kind of guide the reader as well, and AI. So, man and machine, just like you'd see in a good blog or a guide. And then add the trust signals, and those are, people coming into your website or you linking out. Things like another trust, actually, I've done this a few times, and I suppose it depends on your client, but if you're doing it for yourself, add things like naming the author, link to credible sources. So if you found an answer somewhere else, like I mentioned about Google now losing market share, link that if you're writing about it, because it's making your expertise visible, and people like saying, oh well, you're on top of the game, you know what you're talking about. So AI kind of uses these indicators, and I think because they're finding them reliable, we need to start looking at it, and then of course publish it publicly and visibly, whatever just keep publishing it. And like I said, it's not just about redoing all content. It's about adding to the content that you already have. So we're not saying start from scratch, we're saying, hey, save yourself some time, guys. I think you asked the question about WhatsApp as well. I'm looking at what tools that you can use for testing and improve, Joanna, about how it would work with WhatsApp. I think at the moment it's a closed group, and things that are buried in PDFs, they don't work either. I think it needs to be like what we're talking about. It needs to be on a web page, a blog post, or somewhere like Google and ChatGPT where they can find it. And I guess just use those tools that I mentioned earlier to keep testing and improving. So tools like Chat, Perplexity, and others to restructure it. Google Search Console to check if it's been indexed. So make sure that you're looking at if you're writing a blog or an article or whatever it is, that it's been indexed. And like I said, just try the Zero Click Authority app, which I'll come to. But this checklist is definitely something that you can use again and again. And every time you create or update content, just keep checking that that's going on. And as I said, there's no promises here because I don't know when that's going to change. So it might change like in a few days, it might change in a few weeks, but I've been using this for about, I'd just say under a year, and it has evolved. So so just be mindful that these things can change quickly. So let's look at how our tools, the Zero Click Authority app, can help you put this into practice. Joanna, oh, actually, I think I missed out on the answer the public, which is what somebody had said. So if you follow that 5-step checklist and you structure your content clearly, I guess, how do you make sure that it's actually aligned with what people are searching for? That's the question, isn't it? So that's where we start using some of these tools. They're simple. Some of them are free to a certain extent. They're accessible, and they can really help shape up your content so it's discoverable by both AI, by AI platforms, basically. Answer the public there, which was asked just now, shows you what people are actually searching for. So your real questions in the industry or in your niche, so you can actually dive down into that. Also asked for, that's a bit step further. It shows how those questions lead to follow-ups. So it's great for building out an FAQ style content, which is something that I'll talk through. Well, something that we pull through on the app. And of course, ChatGPT can help you restructure your content or maybe rewrite it clear in a much more clearer language. So the jargon example that I gave you, shove that into GPT and ask it to just make it clear. And then of course, Google Console, if you've got that, if you've got a Search Console, if it's already attached to your website, which it should be, this can show you like which pages are being indexed and then where you might see those gaps. So pages being indexed because people are asking questions. This console will show you what sort of keywords they are. Use those keywords from the content that you've got and repopulate it. You don't need to use all of these tools at once. I mean, just choosing one or two can give you more insight in what your audience needs are. And it'll just make sure that AI can find your message. So you can do this yourself without anything, without having to pay, and you can use the free sessions out of each of these or one or two of them. Just try them. That's why I'd say just try them. And then of course, if you want help auditing what you already have, like I said, that's where the app comes in, because it provides you with the changes. And then I think here, did I go through? Sorry. I've just gone through that. Oh, where am I going? There we go. These are the tools that help you get seen. And I think that's it. So basically, if you're wondering how to do it all, how to do all of this, that's where the next session is going to come in. It's a time to help businesses audit their existing content, whether that's your website, your blog, or other pages, and see where you're already visible in tools like Google AI and Chat and Perplexity. But more about that a bit later. And if you want to see it live in action, I'll hop on now and do a quick demo. But basically, everything we've covered today, it's about structure, clarity, and content. You don't have to start your content from scratch. You just look at how to make it clear for people to understand, answer questions that people are asking, real people are asking, and put it in a jargon-free way. And that's it. That's the framework of the early access, and of course stay connected to me. So Joanna, shall I pass this back to you, and then if people want to stay for the demo, I can run a demo for the waiting list.
Brilliant. So thanks for that, Kiki. There are some other questions that have come in, but we'll talk about those afterwards.
Okay.
So whilst you're getting up your screen, so Kiki has been working tirelessly this year on this amazing tool, which will essentially help you restructure your content so that it can be found on these AI platforms, right? And as we know, everything's moving really quickly, but currently this tool is very accurate and helpful. And so we wanted to use this opportunity to give people exclusive access onto how the tool works, and also an opportunity to sign up to the beta list. So a couple of things. What I did want to say is that if you are in Africa on the continent, I think historically, we have leapfrogged in many areas of tech and digital, but sometimes it often feels that we're playing catch up, right? And I just wanted to kind of really reiterate that AI is such a level playing field. that you could be a business in Ghana, and if you are structuring your content correctly, you could still, surface as an option for a business who might be looking for marketing, right? And that business could be in the UK. But because of how you've structured your content, you are visible. So it really levels the playing field and really enhances your global visibility. And so yeah, if there's anyone who has a website, whether it's your own brand website or a client's website, put it in the chat or the Q&A, and we can use that URL to use as part of the demo. So if anyone wants to put in a URL.
Yeah, and I can send you, I'll send Joanna the end result of it, so you can literally have a free session right now within minutes for you to use on your website.
Okay, so we've got a URL that's come in. So it's the homepage. Sam, is there a particular page on the website you want us to look at, or are you happy for us to use the homepage URL? Maybe you might have a service page.
Or blog.
Or a blog. Homepage is fine. Okay. Let's just.
Sorry, I've got a problem with my screen. I'll be back. I said, did you say there was some other questions, Joanna? I'm just going to sort my screen out. Joanna, did you say there were some other questions?
Yeah, did you want to? Okay, so I put the link in the chat, but I can read it out for you.
Sorry, my screen has decided to just turn itself off. So sorry about that. Yes, I'll answer the questions whilst I'm trying to just fix this screen back on. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next question that we've had is, should we be using simple or plain English on our user-facing website pages or in the back or on the back end of the website, e.g. page descriptions?
So that's a really good question. So yes, we should be using language that is simple, that is clear. That's the most part, so you're providing clarity as we do. And yes, the back end, so your meta descriptions and your SEO tags, all those should be covered to give you a better leverage, because remember, we're writing for humans, but we're also writing for machines. So the machine, the algorithms and whatever are using the information that's being picked up from the back end. And interestingly, being a true content marketer and somebody who's been working in SEO for quite some time now, this app that we've built will help you build that through as well, which we'll come to in a moment. So yes is the answer. Make it simple, make it clear. But remember, you don't have to lose your tone and voice. So that's important. So if your brand is all about being friendly, professional, come across friendly and professional. If your brand is about a bit more, you've got, I don't know, working with lawyers or something, so it needs to be, very corporate, use that language that you already use. All you're doing is enhancing so that it can be found.
Brilliant. Someone said the chat is disabled. I think I've played with it, so double check to see if it's back on. Okay, so the next question is, would a blog post need to be hosted on your website or on a different platform? Does a LinkedIn newsletter serve the purpose of being a blog for SEO purposes? And actually, that's quite a good question, right? Because you've got Medium, you've got all Substack, you've got all of these platforms now that are potentially competing from your own kind of website. So would a blog post need to be hosted on your website or on a different platform? And does a LinkedIn newsletter serve the purpose of being a blog for SEO purposes?
So I'd say that so the first question is, does it need to be on your own platform? No, it doesn't. So you can put a blog on any platform, but remember, you want to send signals to a place so that people say. So I'll give an example is, if I turned around and said, New Media Ghost is absolutely amazing, I'm talking about it right now, and this is why you should come to us. you want to check out who New Media Ghost is, who's behind it, what it is, and generally it's not a must, but generally people would have a website, a page of their own that would lead them to that. You don't have to. Now, if you're going to use things like LinkedIn and Medium and all those other social platforms out there, that's brilliant. But remember, when you're using those, you need to link it to something so that people can find you. Now, if you write a blog post on LinkedIn, that is an amazing trust signal. So if you had a website or some sort of platform of your own, you would link something from that LinkedIn post into your platform so it can be found. One of the, well, two that are coming up quite a lot nowadays is Quora, where people are asking questions directly and they're being given answers, and Reddit. I mean, these two platforms have been long-standing, they've been there for years and people have been using them for years. But what AI has done, or the people behind AI, is they're using those as trusted signals to pull through. So things like what you saw on that Facebook page with that digital marketing company, it's clear they answered a question which wasn't directly the best, but it's saying it's the top. So the AI is picking up signals from all different places from what I can see. And although Quora and Reddit were popular before, they are the most popular right now to get your information out on. But remember, have somewhere so people can go visit it and find out who you are.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kiki. How's are you all set up?
I'm gonna just, it's not, it's just complete. I think I can do it from this screen anyway. So I like it so you guys can see the full effect there, but that's fine. I'll put it up on this small screen and then I'll jiggle the things about. Do you need to ask any more questions, or shall I jump on to the app?
Yeah, you can jump into the app.
Okay, right. Oh. Let's see if I can do this now. All right. So did you say you'd already sent me a link through? Yes, got it.
It's in the chat. Can you see it?
Yes, I grabbed it. Here it is. Actually, I don't need to put it in then. I can just... So this is the app. I'm sorry I've got so many screens open here, and hence why I was trying to get the main screen open. We will pretend that this document holder I put here is your website. And what is so good about this app is that it can be any website that you can use it on, because it comes from this app and then you post it onto your own app. So what you do, the person who was kindly given theirs, like I said, I'll save this information so you can give it to them later, Joanna. And what would be good is if they can update their page and then go back in 2 days and then maybe 5 days and then maybe 2 weeks and see how it's changed on their algorithms, and they'll see a big difference hopefully. So sorry, why is that?
So can I ask, Kiki, Zero Click Authority?
Yes.
Why that name? Why the name?
Because actually people are doing zero-click searches. So so that whole AI overview that I was talking about, that is actually called a zero-click. So it means that people don't actually click anymore. They get their answers straight away, and it's an industry thing. Like that jargon, that marketing is being used everywhere, and that's what people understand. And the authority part is is us building an authority. I have no idea why this person's if you can bear with me a second, I'm going to just stop sharing because for some reason it's not coming up. I'll be 1 second. It might be because I've been offline for a little bit. Okay. 1 second.
While Kiki's doing that, I'm going to post a waitlist link in the chat. So once she's done the demo, if you're interested in, getting early access to the tool, you can sign up and they'll let you know when you can access. So it's in beta at the moment. But let me just put the link in the chat. Hopefully you can everyone see that? It looks like the chat is live now. Good, good. So I just put the URL zeroclickauthority.com /AI-visibility-waitlist. So if you're interested in this tool and joining the waitlist, you can click that link and put in your details and you'll get first dibs.
Thanks, Joanna. I think it's because it must have logged me out, so I had to log back into the app because I've been on this screen for quite some time. Right, so I'm going to try and share now. Are you happy for me to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
We've got a couple of people who put some other links in there as well. So if we've got time,
all right, I'll do this
more.
one and let's see how we go. So basically, this is it, and I just grabbed your person's link. I had a quick scan at their website, and I'm guessing training and coaching is probably the keyword for that company. So I'm just going to put, because you should, from a content perspective, have a keyword, a primary focus keyword for the page that you're writing for. So that it can get picked up, and that's traditional SEO. So that's nothing to do with, answer the engine optimization or generative engine optimization. Sorry, I'm throwing all these words out there, but it's traditional SEO, the fundamentals. That's all you need to know, and then you can use something like this. So in this instance, I put the person's business in. I put training and coaching, but remember, it can be any part of the website, and I'd look at what you're trying to achieve from that page. So if you've got different blog posts, put in the keyword for that. And then here are the key takeaways. Okay, that's the output, the FAQs and the SEO tags. So earlier on, when somebody said, does it need to be simple, and do you need to drive it so that the back end is also clear and simple? This will do that for you. So if you are a bit more into your content marketing, then you will find that this could be really helpful. Now, this person has used the SEO score, as you can see, is amazing. It's really good. It's at 82%. What we do is we provide you with information on how you can make it a little bit more better. There's nothing wrong with 82%. So we'll give you the overall score, and then we'll tell you like how you can make it a little bit better. So this is great, 52 characters, and it gives you an answer on why, on the length. It gives you what you can consider to make the page a little bit better. And then you've got your meta description. The person has done a brilliant job of using the focus keywords in their meta description. Now, to enhance it a little bit more, we've made this so much easier. We've provided you with the key takeaways here, and you don't have to use these headings. You can change the headings to what you want, but this is what we'd say to use that matches your own delivery, so your page, your FAQs, which are all put here. So, what specific training programs available, who can benefit. Can you see how it's asking like layman questions, like who can benefit from coaching and mentoring services? And then it's saying, those in HR or communications. Now, you still need to read through it just to make sure. I mean, we're pulling this information in, but if HR and communications is not the person, your target audience, you need to change that. So do read through it, but it's pulled through your FAQs. And then here is what that person had asked about the back end. So if you're working on the back end, we can just enhance it. Here's your SEO tags, your meta descriptions, although this one doesn't need changing, but if you wanted to, you could. And then we have the page schema here. And we've even put a test with Google. So once you put all your back end in, you can test it with Google, and once it's on your site, and see if it works. Straight away, Google will say, yeah, this is pretty good, or no, you need to change a few things. How easy is this to use? So as you can see, I literally put in the URL, I put in the focus keyword. I said that I wanted the key takeaways. You don't have to have all of this, the FAQs, the SEO tags. And then if I can just get my document. So we're going to pretend this is the person's website page. Literally, this is how quick it is. Say if they've got text on here, so I hope they don't mind me just grabbing that text. So this is their website page already. Oh, this whitened out, so that's not going to work. Let me see if we can grab some of this. I'll remove this piece of text because it's already on there, but it's just to show the audience that this is already their text. Can you see that? Is it too small? This is why I needed the other screen to show you guys. Okay, so this is their website text. So this is the website, and literally all you do is you copy there, and then you can paste your keyword takeaways in there, and it's the same here. Now, say if we were going to copy, you wanted all those FAQs, you put it on your website page. I'm going to do this one because we're going to give this one to the person that's kindly let us use theirs. And then what you can do is like I said, if it wasn't for HR or communication professionals, you go in there and you literally change it on your website. And then if you wanted the schema markup for your FAQs, you would again copy that and you would add that in there. So what I'll do is I'll quickly just copy that across so we can just send it to the person later. Let's go, copy. This is how easy it is. I'll add the, there we go. And that's it. And that's it. Literally, you've just copy and paste it into your website, and then once it's on your website, you just test it with your Google console to see that how it's working. Better save that, by the way. Any questions that anybody's
Brilliant.
got?
Thanks for that, Kiki. I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions that have come in.
And I'll quickly save this because
no. We're at the top of the hour. I did want to do one more web page, if that's okay.
Of course.
Um,
Just do save. I'll send that.
Leslie Mensa, I hope you're still on. mensaacademics.com. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the chat again.
Okay. And are there any questions in terms of what we discussed today that people might want to ask? I'm playing around with this. Am I sharing it? Let me stop sharing a second. Are there any questions that people have, Joanna?
No.
No other questions. Okay, let's try this one then. I keep messing it up. Right. All right. Got it up. It's just me. It's because I haven't got the two screens. I can't show you guys on there. Right. Let me grab you so I can share the link. So share. All right. So here's the blog, and sorry, what did you say the company was? I didn't quite pick up the focus word then, Joanna. What was the focus word for this?
Are you still there? It looked like it was tutoring, but bring it up again. I didn't. Yes, so it looks like a children's
Online tutoring.
Online tutoring.
Okay, let's play with online tutoring then. It might be something else, but let's try online tutoring because it looks as if I can't spell that. Okay, so we'll put the FAQs and the key takeaways on there. Like I said, you can put the SEO tags, you submit it. Oh, actually, I built it with the SEO. I re-clicked it after. And remember, this is a good thing because it means that you're not recreating content, that you get to use your current content and just enhance it. So actually, thank you very much to the person who has sent this in, because it's good to show people that how you can make it better. So as you can see here, the score is not great. There's a lot that can be done with the content length. So it'll give you, the word count here is 326, and we're saying consider expanding it to 1,000+ words. It depends what type. I mean, at the beginning of we're going to have this is in beta stage, remember, but we're going to have an information piece on there that you click it and then it gives you how much your content length should be per page. So what it should be for a blog, an article, a white paper, and that's to come. But this is just the beta stage. So the meta title here, it's great that they've picked up that the machine's picked up that it's not great, sorry. And the same with the meta description, because now this person, I didn't click the SEO bit on time, did I? Never mind, I'll see if I can go back in and redo that. But basically they can use the SEO tags and improve it. So they would hear the meta description and the meta title, they would go in and they would copy that straight onto their page and use that. So again, this person, if they have a look, key takeaways on unlocking your child's potential. If we look at the website, excuse me, let's see if I can get it up here. There we go. So there we go. Unlock your child's potential with exceptional online tutoring. So it's very similar. So it's talking about the same thing in a different way and then answering those questions. And here, so these are the key takeaways of what this page offers. And then these are the questions that people are likely to ask around it. So what is mental maths? Oh, sorry, why is mental maths important for my child, and what types of, and who can you see, and how? They're the sort of questions that people are asking on a daily basis. So this app is now answering them in a quicker fashion.
Brilliant. So for those that are still here, I know some people had to jump off. This is just a snapshot of how the tool is, I think, going to revolutionize people's content in such a succinct, clear way, in the direction that people are searching, right? As we said, Google searches are going down. They still have the market share, let's be honest, right? But as you showcase, they themselves are using the Google AI overview. So whether people are searching on Google or Chat or Perplexity or wherever it is, you have to do this work on your content to make sure that you are showing on all of these different, whether it's AI overview, all of these different AI tools as well. So Kiki, thank you very much for showcasing that. And great that we were able to exclusively showcase it to this audience. As I mentioned, guys, if you're interested in signing up to the waitlist for this tool, I've put the link in the chat. I'll put it in there again. Any idea, Kiki, on when people can?
So they can start joining the waiting list now. So actually, I think there was somebody on your call today who reached out and said that they'd heard about this going on and said, "Oh, would you mind if we can trial the beta app?" This was a while ago, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So so we've literally gone live today with the beta app, and so I'm guessing as soon as we can sort out any issues, because that's what we want to do. We want to find out if there's any issues that are not giving true information. We've done it ourselves, but it's always great to have a better, another perspective. So it's gone out beta now. So I'm hoping that we'll get feedback quite quickly from our beta testers over the next couple of weeks. And then the waitlist is open, and literally the people who join the waitlist now are going to be the people that get first dibs on using and joining the app straight away. So yeah, so join the wait list if you want first dibs, because you're definitely going to get it. I'm not going to be going, we're not going to go out and just give it to anyone. We are going to prioritize the people on the wait list. So yeah, definitely come. And in fact, by joining the wait list between now and, it's not going to be loads of emails, because I don't believe in that. I only believe in sending emails if you've got something to say that's going to help. So between now and when they do join, they're going to get periodic emails literally helping them to understand why they need it, what sort of information they need, how AI is changing. And like I said, it's not all the time. It's going to be just, bits of information that's going to help them move forward. Because I don't believe in sending out lots and lots of reams of information, and just get people on it.
Brilliant. There's one final question that's come in.
Sure.
I think I've asked this. Someone wants to know the cost. So I think from my understanding, Kiki's still kind of working that through at the moment. It will be affordable. Kiki, I don't know if you want to add any more to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, these beta testers that are going to be doing our testing that's starting today, they're going to give us an idea on costs. We've already gone to a couple of people that we have worked very closely with. So like my clients, for example, and my partner who's involved in this, his clients. And we're going to have costs that are going to be affordable for one-man band coaching companies, people who don't have staff and they're doing it, so that they can literally go, I'm not spending loads of money, I can get this done very quickly. There is going to be a free trial for the waitlist, so I'm setting that up as we speak. So anyone on the waitlist, as soon as the betas have come through, they're going to be able to get some free trials of it to whatever extent. And then straight from that, we're going to have tiers. So we're going to, like I said, this is not ironed out. So if you're a company, a large company, and you want you've got 3 or 4 content marketers working for you, we're going to open it up so that all your users can use it. Or even if you're a small company with 2 or 3 people and you say, everybody hands on deck, let's get our company running in front of AI overviews and let's start surfing right above our competitors. That's going to happen. And also, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it and I might get told off. But we're already working on the second stage of the app, which I can't mention what it is. So already we're working on this. Beta testers coming on board today, tomorrow. And then we're going to roll it out to the wait list. And then we've got a second part of this app, which is mind-blowing, but the developers are just looking at me saying you're crazy. So watch this space, because the people who are on the wait list, they're always going to get the information first.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kiki. I want to thank everybody for joining today's session. Thank you for staying a little bit over the time as well. The link's in there. We'll share this recording to everybody who signed up, and an opportunity to join the beta again. And keep an eye out for the next session, which hopefully will be in about a month's time, and we're going to be focusing on influencer marketing and the content creator space. So thank you very much, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well, Joanna, and thank you for everybody who have come to join in as well.
Cheers. Bye, everybody.